Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. So I have been talking recently with my friend Pete, and with Jump Festa coming up, Pete actually told me that his #1 want is to see a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga released and announced. And I thought that was a pretty cool want. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS is currently the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Series that does not have its own manga, which is kind of crazy. Although, with this much time passed, I don't know if that's ever going to change, sadly. And then I remembered something that happened over 3 years ago. And that was one of the biggest fake posts that I think the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime community has seen in probably the last 3 to 4 years. It was a post from Reddit that claimed there was a source that confirmed Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS was getting a spin-off manga, which would be called Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS Cyber Warrior Yusaku. Before we get into the video, I do want to thank today's video sponsors, and that is Bokksu. Bokksu is a snack subscription filled with a bunch of delicious and fun goodies from around the country of Japan. Something I absolutely love about this box is the learning aspect of the snacks. Not only are the snacks, of course, delicious, but you can basically take a journey through Japan through the cultural aspects of Bokksu. Every box is going to come with a booklet like this, which will tell you the region of Japan that each candy is from. Like, for example, this Tokabi corn chocolate is from the Hokkaido region of Japan, which is the northernmost land of Japan, and it is filled with a small paragraph about what the candy actually represents and what the candy actually is. You can find fun facts for every single snack that is going to come in this box, and it really helps make it feel like an authentic Japanese cultural experience, which is something that I love. If you need a last-minute holiday gift or maybe just want to treat yourself, this is the perfect opportunity. Use my code YUGIOH10 and the link in the description to get 10% off your Bokksu subscription and automatically be entered in their giveaway to win free tickets to Japan. Anyone who subscribes before December 31st, even as a gift, will be eligible to win. Trust me, you will not regret it. Now, this was set to be a chibi manga, which is a style of manga that was done for Zexal and Arc 5, so there was nothing really surprising about that. And I did find one of the Reddit posts that talks about this manga announcement, and this is what they said. In Saikyo Jump of this month, Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga was announced, but will be like Arc 5 parallel manga having a comedy style. After ending the manga Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 The Strongest Duelist Yuya, Akihiro Tomonaga will be responsible for the VRAINS one with the help of Seta Kobayashi. The manga will be Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS Cyber Warrior Yusaku, which will follow Yusaku, a 16-year-old boy who wants to become the strongest duelist of Link VRAINS, but will have to defeat the most powerful duelists like Go, Ryoken, Emma, Takeru, and the dual champion Aoi Zaizen. Unfortunately, everything we have is a little announcement. It's highly probable that the characters will be in chibi version, like the Arc 5 one. My resource for this information is Brazilian, but be free to try read. And if you click this Facebook link, it takes you to nothing. It is a broken Facebook link, and the original poster in this Reddit forum has actually since deleted their account. But this was something that made the rounds not only in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community, but to other sites as well. I mean, comicbook.com, which is a pretty solid source, still has an article written by Megan Peters talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS spin-off manga. In fact, if you look all over Google, there's plenty of sites that talk about this spin-off manga. Anime Mojo has an article written, Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS is getting a manga, and it's not what you think, which has to do, of course, with the chibi style, which means it's probably going to be a comedy, which would have been pretty interesting given the kind of show VRAINS was if it was in a comedy style. But it was really cool. We were getting a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga, and this was back in 2018. Well, fast forward 3 years, and obviously, this did not happen. Probably the only video that I regret is actually about this topic. I uploaded at the end of June, which was a month after this Reddit post went up, that a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS spin-off manga was announced in the form of Cyber Warrior Yusaku. And I still feel bad about this video because almost 5,000 people watched it, and it's not real. After about about a week, someone reached out to me who I believe was part of that Brazilian Facebook page and basically told me that that page is kind of known for playing pranks and doing a lot of fake posts on their page, and said that I probably should delete the video because they felt that it wasn't legit. And that was the first red flag that I got. I mean, if you go back into the comments of this video, which I've actually unlisted, I made this video private about a week after I uploaded it. I've unlisted the video, I've linked it down below, so if you want to relive my excitement for a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga that never was, you can actually watch the video, which will again be linked in the description. But that user reached out to me, and that was the first red flag. I did a little more research. I realized that the only sources were linking back to the Reddit post that was made, and there were no images of this page in Saikyo Jump. And that's when I was getting a little nervous and was like, oh boy, this might not be real. I made the video private right away, and I think I announced on Twitter that the spin-off manga probably was a fake meme post. And that's exactly what it ended up being. If you go to the Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS Cyber Warrior Yusaku page on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fandom, there's a great conversation that happens between two moderators. It seems there has been no new info on this manga since it was announced. Was there ever any chapters released in magazines or online? Now, this was written in December of 2019. Remember, the first announcement was the summer of 2018, so this was a year and a half after it was first announced. Another user writes, there's been no info because this whole thing is not real in the first place. There's never been such an announcement for a VRAINS manga. The first source, the comicbook.com article, links back to the Reddit post. The Reddit post, whose poster deleted their account, sources back to a broken Facebook link. A search for VRAINS manga turns up nothing. There's no valid sources for this. This page should have been flagged for deletion a long time ago. And Zandy28 is absolutely correct. This is one of the few times that I can think of, especially since I started doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos about 5 years ago, that there was such a big fake post that was actually believed by many people, including myself, including many people in the community, and including people that write for comicbook.com and Anime Mojo and plenty of sites alike. And I look back on this with a lot of frustration because Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS has just been the most disrespected show in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. I mean, it really has been. This is the only sort of time that I can think of where a fake manga was brought up by this Brazilian Facebook page just for the meme, just for a joke, obviously. And so many people took the bait and believed it. And it's so frustrating looking back on it now, knowing that we probably are never going to get a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga. I mean, it just feels like such a middle finger that not only are we not getting a VRAINS manga probably ever, but that there was a group of people, or maybe one user, I'm really not too sure, who went out of their way to try to trick, and successfully did trick, the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Community and writers alike that VRAINS was actually getting a manga, and it never ended up happening. And so the real reason for making this video was not only to kind of go down memory lane and relive the VRAINS manga that never was, but just have a discussion with you guys as to whether I think there is ever a possibility that we are going to get a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga. My answer is not going to be probably positively received by a lot of people. I would love a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga. I really would. I think the last season left a lot to be desired. I really would have liked to see a longer season. You know, you add 26 episodes to season 3 and it goes its full 3 years. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS can end up being one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh! shows ever. And I still liked it a lot. And I would kind of put it in my middle of the 7 current shows personally. But I really think the ending and the rushed ending hurt the series a lot. And the fact that we didn't have a manga to outlast the anime like we did with Zexal, like we did with 5Ds, like we did with Arc 5, really is just a shame. Not only is Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS the shortest Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime ever, but it's the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime that doesn't have a manga. And there is so much that a manga could have brought to this show. Not only could it have brought a new story with the characters that we all know and love, but it could have explored some aspects of characters that we never really saw. Maybe it would have explored the mental hurdles that Aoi had to deal with early on in the series that kind of got dropped as the show went on. Maybe it would have explored more of the messed up and twisted past that Yusaku endured, or a Yusaku family life that we never got talked about at all in the Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS anime. There were a lot of possibilities for a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga, a lot of exciting possibilities, and it is a shame that we never got one, and I feel like it's just a further kick in the groin when you look back at this as one of the only times that so many people have been baited by a fake post, and of course it has to do with the Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga. I just feel like it adds an extra level and an extra layer of disrespect. I don't think we are ever going to get a main entry manga or a side manga for Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS. I hope that I'm wrong about that. But guys, I really just wanted to see if any of you remembered this and see what your thoughts are on a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga. I think that we have kind of moved away from Studio Gallop Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably forever, but I hope that I am wrong about that, and I hope that there is some force in the world that will allow Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS to have a manga. Let me know your thoughts on VRAINS as a whole. Let me know if you agree with me. Do you agree that Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS is the most disrespected Yu-Gi-Oh! show in terms of its treatment by the people that maybe worked on the show and maybe the community, you know, stirring up fake posts like this as well to get people's hopes up, only for not only this to not be real, but for us to never get a Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS manga. I really do want to know your thoughts on that down below. But thank you guys so much for watching. And a special thank you to my Platinum tier patrons, Horace Maye, Goosey Q, Panther J, Blue Maiden 28, and Jarrett Buller, and to my Diamond tier patrons, Jesse Wood, Latrell Smith, and Erick Avila, and to my Egyptian God tier patrons, Ccapacappuuu and Syn Cloud. Thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who is a YouTube channel member. You guys help me out and you help out this channel so much. I cannot begin to explain how thankful and appreciative I am for each and every one of you. Definitely check out my Patreon for more channel exclusive perks down below in the description. Thank you to Bokksu for sponsoring this video. I will talk to you down in the comments section. I'm on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Links are in the description for all of those social media platforms. And remember, you can watch my initial thoughts on this announcement. The video's over 3.5 years old, down below in the description as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Take care, guys.